Okay, so this is a quick video on how to fill out leads in Deal Automator when we're cold calling. So I have right here, I have my list pulled up. So, we have the phone number here. So, I would call this person, and here's what I would do. I would at least, you don't necessarily have to have, this Deal Automator ready, but, when you're calling, I would just have this up, at least just have Deal Automator ready, and when when uh, when they pick up and it sounds like it's a lead, just go ahead and bring it down here and just press create. And for the sake of this, I'll do this one here. Okay, so it's 10926 Concho Street in Houston, Texas. Concho Street. It's fun. Okay. So once that's created, and I'm sure, by this time you're also going to have your script up here. So, for the sake of this, I'll pull it up real quick. Let's see. Virtual closer. Okay. So we got. Okay. So we got the script right here. Pull this over here. So this is what I always do. I always kind of have all of the questions that I need to ask right next to where I'm going to be filling this stuff out. So, when you start the call, obviously you're verifying if this is the owner of the property, if they actually want to sell it. And once all of that's done, you're going to kind of move into building rapport once you've already kind of gotten past that point of knowing that it's going to be a lead, they're actually interested and potentially motivated. So that's the first thing we want to do is we want to get into motivation. So we're going to ask something that leads to personal, something that leads to their story, something that leads to what led up to this point, that they're open to working with us. So, out of curiosity, have you had a job or a family in the area? So let's just pretend, I asked that question. They're like, no, I live out of town. So I'm going to go lives out of town. And as he starts kind of talking, he or she starts kind of talking, just ask, some extra questions and, you're going to get some more information. So, how long you've been trying to sell. So, let's say has been trying to sell the property for about 7 months. Had I'm just making stuff up. Had it listed with a realtor for 3 months with no offers. And why are they deciding to sell? Well, they inherited the property. They were going, they listed the house at too high of a price or something. Okay, so basically all we're doing in the beginning here is we're just going to this notes section and we're just taking notes. And we get into the property details, obviously we already have the address. Then we're going to get into, how many beds and baths. So start getting specific and verifying some of this information. So a lot of times up here, if you look over at the cursor, we'll be able to see how many beds and baths there are, but we just want to verify that. So, just ask it. So does this have 4 beds and 2 baths? That's what I'm seeing online. Is that correct? So we'll just go, 4 bed, 2 bath. And then square footage, 1580. Usually it's correct, but just verify that with the owner. Some cases they don't know, which is no big deal. And then garage, yes, it's a 2-car detached garage. And for reference, I don't know if this is true or not, but for the sake of this, it works. Is there any air conditioning? Yes. AC is newly installed, let's say. Okay. I don't even need to say yes. So just AC is newly installed. And then we're going to then transition into um, the repairs that need to be done and the condition. So, roof, basically what you're going to do is ask for, the condition and the estimated cost of repair. So this is something that I do just to kind of build um, just kind of build the amount of work that is really needed in the seller's mind and get, just really get a grasp on the kind of discount we're going to need on the property. So with the roof, so roof is older, could be updated, but isn't needed. And you see these a lot, where it's not the worst roof in the world, but if a flipper is going to get their hands on it, they're going to want to replace it, So, and then after that, just add. I always just assume if it's older, let's say it's roof is 10 years old. Let's say it's $4,000. And usually what I would do, and I would just ask, so you think it probably could be replaced, and if it did, what do you think it would cost? They're going to say whatever number they're going to say, but the important thing is you just get them to agree on the price that it's going to cost. You guys agree on that. So siding, whoops. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through all these. So same age as roof. Okay. So let's say that's going to be, because it's so weird, it's going to be $4,800. It's a weird house, so it's going to cost a lot. Okay. Windows, they're all updated. Whoops. Okay. So no repair cost. And then we're going to do gutters. So we're just basically going to go through all these and just kind of follow this trend, right? All the way down through plumbing, electrical wiring, paint, flooring, all the stuff. We want to get an idea for, really what this is going to take. So I'm going to pretend, blah, 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 blah. We go through all this. Cool. And then we're going to start getting into what they want for the house. So when you ask, what they're asking, just I wouldn't even record exactly what they say, meaning I wouldn't type it in. I would just kind of just hear them, and once they say the price, let's say for this one they're asking, let's say they're asking $75,000. What I would do, something good when you get an asking price is just asking, well, do you have any flexibility on that? And then if they do, just take a note of that. Okay. And these are some questions that you can ask just to just to ask about their past experience, and if their pricing has to do anything with the reason why it's selling or not, kind of going back to their motivation and kind of what the story and what led up to that point. And then the next thing, you're just going to kind of build more value and appeal to their logic. So basically what you're going to say is, I can understand you came up with that asking price, yada, yada, yada. So these are just things that you're saying to get a response back from the seller. and then you can record what they say after that. So yeah, I'm just kind of reading through these. Yeah. And then after this, I mean, really what we want to do is just say something along the lines of, um, just based on the cash sales that we're seeing in the area and the work that's needed. I mean, you yourself said this place needs, you know, upwards of $28,000 in repairs. So I mean, really the best we can do on this one, um, you know, and I even hate to make this offer to you, to be honest with you, but um, I think we can do 37. We can do uh, we can do 38,000. We can do 38,000. Something like that. And then what I would do is offered 38,000, and then I would just record the response. They did not like the offer. They don't feel that flexible. They said they would sell in the high 50s, and that is it. So you hear this a lot, they're going to be in the high 50s, and that's really not that far off from 38. And as you can see here, our highest offer on this, based on what the rehab would be 60,000. So it looks like we would have some flexibility on this one, and because we made the lowest offer first, we kind of have the ability to negotiate up from there. So once you kind of get back to here, what I would do, is just basically when you make the offer, just really wait and listen and hear them out, because a lot of times when you make the offer, they'll almost talk themselves, into the sale, and they'll really start revealing why they don't like the offer and really start revealing their motivation. So just listen, right? And then ask questions. And what I would do is reference some probing questions you can ask and some really powerful phrases you can use that really use effective communication with the sellers. So, and then assuming this all gets done right, we send over the contract and everything. Let's say we agree on this deal at 45,000. So let's say deal negotiated at 45,000. We need to send over a purchase agreement. And all you're going to want to do is just tag me, and I'll have it sent over. And I'll have a list of things that I'm going to need from you to send over, and that's all right here. So just ask for all this stuff. So just tag me here, and then you can tag me here just for the fun of it, but what I really need you to do is send an email over to me. But I would also record all of this information in here, and when it comes to the email address and the email address and the phone number, here I'm going to save this real quick. So you just press save, and all that will be there. I'm going to open this up real quick. And basically what you want to do is when there's a new contact, sometimes you can go here and use this contact, but I always just create a new one. Enter in the name, email, and phone of the person you're talking to, just so we have it saved. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, and then all you want to do after that point is stay in contact, and we kind of have a closing worksheet, a checklist that you can follow. It just gives you different points throughout the contract period where you follow up and just see how everything's going, keep them updated, and I'll obviously keep you updated during that process as we're closing. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, once, and then, after we have walkthroughs, we'll just continue documenting this process. But in terms of this, this initial call, um, just kind of guide the seller through the conversation, record their responses, and yeah, that's how we close deals. Awesome. All right, guys. Happy closing.